All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Leo from Fight Game Podcast. I know you guys haven't seen me in a while, but I'm trying out this new thing I think you guys might like, which is we're going to take fighters from this Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. I'll probably do others too, East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, whatever. I mean, if there's a fight that interests me, I'll definitely commentate on it, talk about it, whatever, show it. But I really want to focus on the fighters here in the DMV area because they just don't get enough recognition for what they do. So I am going to switch. There we go. Did that whole thing without showing my face. Maybe that's how I should do it. But anyway, so we're gonna start here. This is the very first one, and I thought this would be a good fight to start with. This is Cowboy Fight Series 2. This is the fight between Tyler Bunting and Oscar Jimenez. I believe this is a 185 pound fight, and these guys, these middleweights, are a couple of killers. For those of you who don't know, obviously they're amateur fighters, so I'm sure you've never heard of them if you're not from this area, but these guys, Oscar Jimenez coming out of Yamasaki Academy, and a very prestigious academy here in the DC area, and they turn out some killers. And then of course Tyler Bunting coming out of Disciple. Not that I would know anything about Disciple, but whatever, I'll stop there. Anyway, so let's switch over the cam and let's watch the fight, shall we? And I might stop it every once in a while. I've watched this fight a few times. I saw it live, but then seen it a couple times since then. Such a good fight. And I want to kind of show some of the fantastic stuff that you're going to see. Like the fact that this is Donald Cowboy Cerrone over here. That's pretty fantastic. Makes sense. I mean, it is his fight series. For those of you guys who don't know about Cowboy Fight Series, it's basically a promotion that's put on by Cowboy. And what happens is if you show up in this fight really well, what ends up happening is he will give you the go-ahead to come out to the BMF Ranch and train with his crew to become a professional fighter. So pretty awesome for any amateur here that gets the nod. All right, so these guys are showing respect. A couple of real fighters here, a lot of respect, but both of these guys, I'm telling you, you'll see here in a second. Oscar Jimenez, very stone cold, very Fedor Emelianenko-like, frozen veins, as they say. And Tyler, just absolute energy, absolute fire. So, cold versus hot. We'll see what happens. And I don't mean cold in a bad thing. Oscar Jimenez is cold in that sort of killer way, killer instinct. So right off the bat, nice stand-up exchanges, nice pop from Bunting. Tries to tie him up against the cage, but Tyler doing a great job. Knee and then a couple of straights right down the pipe. Pops Bunting's head back, and now Bunting is tying him up, throwing uppercuts. It's funny because that usually you want to feel the fighter out, but your opponent. But these guys don't care about doing that. I mean, at least Tyler doesn't. I don't know if Tyler initiated this pace and Jimenez is just matching it, but Jimenez is doing a great job, if that's the case, of sort of matching the ferocity of Bunting. And we got another tie up against the cage. Don't underestimate those knees to the outside thigh, because after about 30 of those, your opponent can't walk anymore. A little whiff there. Jimenez, you can tell, man, he's got some really good range skills because he's able to sort of like see a punch whiz by, just barely miss and then counterattack pretty effectively. Bunting, on the other hand, I mean, he is just throwing it all against Jimenez. Not a whole lot of protecting his face. He doesn't care at this point. He's just trying to knock Jimenez out. Nice straight, jumping straight. And a smile and a nod. Just haymakers left and right from Bunting. And Jimenez is doing a good job sort of weathering that storm. Not getting too beat up. Like I said, he's a little bit more colder of a fighter, I mean, he's all energy, but in this particular fight against Tyler Bunting, who's putting out a lot of strikes. I'd love to know what the strike percentage was for these guys in this fight. And a good job tying him up on the ground. Little figure four. Tyler's on top in a headlock. And that's it for round one. Tyler's looking happy about his performance. Oscar, stone cold. You just don't know. The guy, he when he's happy, when he's sad, you have no clue. Little move from the ring card girl. Some people just come to watch them. Casuals. So I'm not sure what Tyler Bunting's corner is telling him right now. I believe that is Rick Humphries. But it had something to do with cross elbow, up elbow. Maybe that's how he wants to kind of counter some of these shots. Some of these shots that Jimenez is throwing out. All right. And it looked like Jimenez, again, subdued in his corner, sitting on his stool. Can't tell if he's happy, sad about his performance. Just flatline, man. Just away. All right. And Tyler looks a lot more reserved this round. Second round. He's throwing a little bit more carefully, I should say. Nice leg kick from Tyler. Got to watch out for those kicks, though. I mean, you keep throwing them, you start becoming predictable. Jimenez throwing some leg kicks, coming in with 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Maybe taking into advantage that he's got longer reach. I'm not sure about that, but it kind of looks like that from here. And again, actually connecting. So this is something that Tyler later on has to, I think he's got to go back to the drawing board sort of on his defense and just being more elusive. His leg gets caught. He's taken to the ground, up against the cage. Jimenez on top. Is he going to be able to get his mount? It looks like he almost had it, but I think that's a heel hook. Not quite sure from here, but maybe attempted heel hook from Tyler. Not working, so go right to the hammer fist to the face. That's Tyler. That's Tyler for you. And he gets on top. Very nice. Nice reversal. Tries to take the back, but Oscar does a good job of keeping his back to the ground, using the cage to spin into elbows. Probably not what he wanted, but he's bringing his legs over. Looks like Tyler's going for a key lock. Maybe looked like Americana maybe going for it again. Good job on Jimenez straightening his arm out in that position. Can't get the key lock like that. using the cage again to maybe try to... okay, so he's just turning. Got his back. Nope. Jimenez doing a good job, good defense, and as far as his jiu-jitsu, just getting his long legs in the way of whatever Tyler's trying to do. At this point, Tyler, so just trying to peel the legs away, come in with some ground and pound. Looking tired at this point, which I would have been tired the first 10 seconds of what kind of pace these guys are putting out, and that's the end of round 2. Now, if you were to look at these guys after the fight, you'd say that Jimenez was a little less worse for the wear, because Tyler actually posted some photos of him in the hospital after this fight, after the event, and they were stitching his face up. He had a nice laceration in between his eyes on his forehead. Not sure from what, probably one of the many elbows and knees that were just thrown in that blaze, that barrage. Nice French word there. All right, here we go. Round 3, final round. Got to put it out on the line here, especially Oscar. Even though I feel like he's a little bit more seasoned of a fighter, the judges are looking for action. They're looking for some productivity here. Again, good use. I gotta say, Bunting, good use of dirty boxing, as they say. Nice Muay Thai technique up against the cage. Throw those knees, throw some elbows. If for nothing else, just kind of keep your opponent on his toes and to keep the referee from, having to kind of reset you, especially if you're in a kind of a good position here where you have a guy against the cage and he's fighting to keep Jimenez against that cage. Obviously, Jimenez is a hell of a lot less effective at this shorter range, at least as far as his striking goes. So Bunting's doing a good job peppering him. Jimenez is answering back, too. I don't want to say that this is one-sided. I mean, Jimenez is doing a good job sort of being the guy against the cage, but still kind of throwing some punishment. But I don't know if it's quite enough. Nice knee. And he let him go. Try to give him some parting gifts as he went. Nice leg kick, but he ate a few punches for his efforts there. Tyler's starting to get rained on with those punches. A nice sprawl out from Jimenez. Jimenez, I'm telling you, this guy he's a really great fighter, very seasoned for an amateur. I mean, the guy is, or at least at this point, I'm not sure if he went pro yet, but as of this recording, but he was still amateur during this fight. Jimenez doing a good job. Inside control. But wait a minute. Left his arm out. What happens when you leave your arm out? You get arm barred. Now at this point I was a little confused as to what he was doing to sort of defend against the arm bar. But later on, after watching it a few times, it's pretty awesome what he does. So he ties him up, wraps his legs around him in sort of like a guard. And I'm like, well, I guess it keeps Tyler from being able to sort of find any base, get in a better position. And then there's a reversal. Now he's on top. Now he's looking for something, raining down shots, and that's when the bell. And so that was a fantastic fight, man. There's Cowboy, got his hat on, ready to get in that cage. It was a great fight. It's one thing to watch it here on the screen. It's not as exciting as if you guys were there. If you guys could feel the electricity in that space, it was electrifying. And so they got to clean Tyler's face off. He's got a lot of blood coming out of that, laceration wounds. He got cut open, not sure from what. You can hear the crowd asking for, demanding 2 more rounds. You got to love DMV, man. DC, Maryland, Virginia area, one of the best, if not the best, to go watch some fights. Some of the best fans, always high energy, always a good time. All right, so let me see if I can. Let's get right up to the decision. Who do you think won this fight? Who would you give it to? Well, if you chose Tyler, you were right. Collect your prize. So yeah, Tyler won that fight, and thanks to winning this fight, he is for CFS, that's Cowboy Fight Series. He's the middleweight champion as of at the time of this recording. And there's a lot of guys. If you guys could have seen the Facebook and Instagram posts after this, there was people coming after Tyler because you know what? It's what do they say? It's, I think your boy Masvidal, Street Jesus, said it best. He says it's easy to get the championship. It's hard to keep it. I think he said that. A lot of people said that, but I'm pretty sure he said that recently. All right, cool. And we're going to call that. So let me go ahead and pause that and just say, hey guys, thanks for watching. It's late right now. It's like almost 12 o'clock here, p.m. And but I wanted to make sure that I did this video now that we got the new setup where we're able to just something different for the Fight Game podcast. We can't always have interviews happening all the time. We just don't have the bandwidth for that right now. So when we do interviews, it's going to be interviews that we really care about and really. Obviously, we got to get them scheduled. So there's 2 parties that need to schedule them. It's kind of tough. With everybody's schedules, but this is something that we can do on a regular basis, so I'm excited to start, and I really wanted to start with Tyler Bunting versus Oscar Jimenez, CFS 2, the 185 middleweight championship bout. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and stay tuned for more, okay? This is Leo, Fight Game Podcast. Don't forget to Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share, and of course, keep watching, okay? I'll be checking you guys later.